Welcome back to Digital Dispatch. Ready for another deep dive? Buckle up, because today we're going to be talking about Gen AIOps.
Oh yeah, Gen AI ops. Definitely a hot topic right now.
You know, I keep hearing about it everywhere too, all this buzz, and it's got me thinking like, what exactly is it and why is everyone so hyped? So,
Yeah.
Gen AI apps in Fintech.
Okay,
Down there.
so think about it like this. You know how we always hear about the amazing potential of AI in finance?
Yeah, like it's going to revolutionize everything.
Right. But then we also hear that so many AI projects just never quite make it.
Yeah, they fizzle out. Pick
Exactly.
a bad date.
Research actually shows that over half of these AI projects in finance, they never get past the pilot phase.
Seriously.
Over half. Yep. It's a big problem. And it all comes down to this challenge of scaling up.
Okay, yeah. Scaling things up can be tough.
You can have this brilliant idea, works perfectly in a small test environment.
Proof of concept.
Right. But then when you try to implement it across a whole company, things get messy.
That's where Gen AI swoops in.
Gen AI Ops is all about bringing that operational excellence to building, testing, and scaling up these AI solutions. Think of it like this.
Not all ears.
You're taking the best bits from data ops, ML ops, and DevOps,
All the ops.
combining them into this, well, this super powered approach.
Sounds impressive, but I need a real-world example.
All right, so let's look at Hitachi.
They've been doing a lot with AI, right?
Yeah, they have like 20 years of experience in this field.
Wow.
And they've developed this framework called R2O2.ai.
R2O2, as in like hydrogen peroxide.
It stands for reliability, responsibility, observability, and optimization.
Okay, I like it.
Catchy. Right.
It is. But how does it actually work?
So imagine you have this toolkit.
Every good superhero needs a toolkit.
Exactly. And in this toolkit, you've got over 25 different AI models.
Oh, that's a lot of models.
And these models are customizable, so you can tailor them to your specific needs.
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all thing.
Nope. You can pick and choose the tools that work best for your situation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially in finance, right? Where everything's so regulated.
Oh, absolutely. You've got GDPR, PCI DSS, all those rules about protecting data.
And R2O2.ai can handle all that.
Built right in. Transparency and compliance are key features here.
Makes me feel safer already.
You know those observability features we talked about?
Yeah.
They give you the insights you need to meet all those regulatory requirements.
So it's powerful, but also responsible.
Exactly. That's the balance we're looking for, right?
Right. Okay, but let's be honest. Fintech moves fast.
Oh, yeah. Speed is key.
Can R2O2.ai keep up?
Think about it this way. Let's say you've got this great AI pilot program.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it might take months to get that fully implemented.
The dreaded rollout phase.
But with R2O2.ai, you can cut that down to weeks.
Weeks. That's incredible.
It's all about streamlining the process, making things more efficient.
Okay, this all sounds amazing, but let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Sure.
How does Gen AI Ops actually impact, like, me? The average person using financial apps.
Well, think about fraud detection.
Okay, yeah.
Gen AI Ops is powering those systems.
The ones that keep our money safe.
And these systems are so advanced, they can learn in real time.
Real time. Like, as the fraud is happening.
Pretty much. They adapt to new threats as they emerge.
So it's not just like reacting to what's already happened.
It's about anticipating, being proactive.
Wow, that's a game changer.
It is. And it's not just about security either.
Oh. There's more.
Think about opening a new bank account.
Ugh. Yeah. Not my favorite thing.
What if that whole experience was personalized just for you?
Now you're talking.
Gen AI Ops can analyze your financial history, your spending habits, even your life stage.
Like it knows if I'm a student or a homeowner.
Yep. And then it tailors that whole onboarding process.
So no more generic forms and confusing questions.
It can even recommend products that might be a good fit for you.
And pre-fill all those forms. I like where this is going.
It's all about making things smoother, more intuitive.
So it's like Gen AI Ops is this invisible force working in the background.
Right.
To make our lives easier and safer when it comes to finance.
Exactly. It's about using AI to create a better experience for everyone.
I like it. But we've been focusing a lot on Hitachi and their framework.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger movement around Gen AI Ops?
Absolutely. There's a growing recognition that we need to be responsible when it comes to AI.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's this group, the Center for Gen AI Ops.
Right.
They put together this generative AI manifesto.
A manifesto. Sounds intense.
It's actually really interesting. It lays out key principles for implementing Gen AI Ops in a responsible way.
Like a code of ethics.
You could say that.
I'm guessing transparency is a big part of that.
Definitely. And fairness, too, making sure these systems aren't biased.
So it's not just about building cool tech. It's about making sure that tech is used for good.
Absolutely. It's a whole new way of thinking about AI.
All right, so for all the fintech leaders out there listening,
Yeah.
what's the message? What should they be doing?
Gen AI ops is not just a trend anymore.
It's here to stay.
It's essential. Companies need to embrace it. They need to invest in the right people, the right processes, the right tools.
Build that Gen AI ops culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we approach AI operations.
So much to unpack here. We've talked about the challenges of scaling AI, the emergence of Gen AI ops, and how it can transform fintech.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
In the next part, we'll dive deeper into some real-world applications and explore some success stories.
There's so much more to uncover.
So stay tuned for part 2.
Welcome back. Let's dive into some real-world applications of Gen AI ops, where it's really making a difference.
Yeah, we touched on a few things earlier, like fraud detection.
Right. That's one area where Gen AI ops is a total game changer.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So traditional fraud detection systems, they're often reactive.
Yeah, they're always playing catch-up.
They rely on patterns that we already know to try to spot suspicious activity.
Right.
But Gen AI ops, it's all about real-time learning.
So the systems are constantly evolving.
Exactly. They're adapting as new threats emerge.
Whoa. So they're always one step ahead.
Pretty much. It's like having this super smart security guard who's always learning new tricks.
Okay, I like that analogy. So instead of just reacting to fraud that's already happened, these systems can anticipate it.
And prevent it, which is huge for protecting both businesses and customers.
Definitely. Okay, what about that personalized onboarding we talked about earlier?
Imagine this. Opening a new bank account or applying for a loan. And it's actually a pleasant experience.
Okay, now that would be a revolution.
No more mountains of paperwork.
Please.
No more confusing questions.
Sign me up.
Gen AI ops can analyze all sorts of data, your financial history, your spending habits, even your stage of life.
So it's like it gets to know you.
And then uses that knowledge to create this really personalized experience.
So it could recommend products or services that are actually relevant to me.
Exactly. And pre-fill those forms with your information so you don't have to waste time.
And maybe even offer some helpful financial advice along the way.
Potentially. It's all about making things easier and more intuitive for the customer.
It's amazing how Gen AI ops can tackle all these different challenges.
Yeah.
We've got security, we've got customer experience.
All powered by data-driven insights.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of the positives.
Yeah.
But are there any downsides to Gen AI ops? Any challenges that we need to be aware of?
That's a really good question.
I mean, no technology is perfect, right?
Exactly. And with something as powerful as AI, we need to be extra careful.
So what are some of the potential concerns?
Well, one big one is data governance.
Okay, yeah. Making sure all that data is being handled responsibly.
Especially in finance where privacy is so important.
We can't just hand over all our financial information without knowing it's going to be protected, right?
Exactly. We need strong protocols in place to ensure that data is being used ethically.
So it's not just about building cool AI tools.
It's about using them for good.
Yeah.
And making sure we're not creating any unintended consequences.
Right. Striking that balance is so important.
It is, but it's definitely a challenge. So for a fintech company that's just starting to explore Gen AI ops, where do they even begin?
That's a good question.
Well, I'd say the first step is to really assess their current AI capabilities.
Kind of like a self-audit.
And figure out where Gen AI apps could add the most value.
Are they struggling to scale up those pilot projects?
Right. Are they having issues with fraud detection or customer onboarding?
Once they've identified those areas, they can start looking at different Gen AI ops frameworks and tools.
Exactly. And they'll probably need to find some good partners along the way.
Experts who can help them navigate the whole process.
And don't forget about change management.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Implementing Gen AI ops often requires shifts in company culture and processes.
Getting everyone on board with the new way of doing things.
It can be tough, but it's worth it.
So what's next for Gen AI ops? What's coming down the pipeline?
One exciting development to watch is explainable AI, or XAI for short.
XAI, what's that all about?
As these AI systems get more and more sophisticated,
Yeah, it becomes even more important to understand how they're making decisions.
Right, we can't just have these black boxes running things without any transparency.
Exactly, especially in finance where accountability is crucial.
So XAI is all about making AI more transparent.
So we can understand the reasoning behind its decisions.
That's really important for building trust.
And making sure these systems are being used ethically.
Okay, what else is on the horizon? Any other cool trends?
We're also seeing a lot of integration with other technologies like cloud computing and edge computing.
Can you break those down for us? Some of our listeners might not be familiar with those terms.
Sure. So cloud computing is like having this massive, powerful brain in the sky.
Okay,
It provides the infrastructure that GenAI needs to process all that data.
makes sense.
And then edge computing. That's all about bringing the processing power closer to the source of the data.
So it's like having those quick reflexes out in the field.
Yeah, it's super fast, like in fraud detection, where every millisecond counts. So it's about combining these different technologies to create these superpowered GenAI solutions.
Right, and the possibilities are really endless.
It sounds like GenAI is going to have a huge impact on the financial industry.
It's a paradigm shift. It's going to change everything.
And it's important to approach it with curiosity and a willingness to adapt.
And a commitment to using this technology responsibly for the benefit of everyone.
Well said. Okay, before we wrap things up in the next part, I just want to give our listeners a moment to process all this incredible information.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
But it's truly exciting stuff. Welcome back. So we were talking about that generative AI manifesto before the break.
Oh, yeah, from the Center for Gen AI Ops.
I'm really curious to hear more about that. What are some of the key takeaways for fintech leaders?
Well, one of the big things they emphasize is human oversight.
That makes sense. We can't just let AI run wild, right?
Exactly. Even with all this automation, human judgment is still crucial, especially when it comes to ethical decision-making.
So it's more like a partnership between humans and AI.
Absolutely. It's about using AI to enhance our capabilities, not replace us.
I like that. What else does the manifesto talk about?
They also stress the importance of monitoring and evaluating these systems
So we can make sure they're actually working as intended.
and identify any potential biases or risks that might pop up.
Yeah, because even with the best intentions, things can go wrong, right?
Right. So ongoing monitoring is key.
And what about collaboration? Is that part of the manifesto?
Definitely. They encourage sharing knowledge and best practices within the Gen AI Ops community.
So everyone can learn from each other's experiences.
And hopefully avoid making the same mistakes.
Makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so as we wrap up this deep dive on GenAI
Yeah.
what's your biggest takeaway? What do you really want our listeners to remember?
Gen AI Ops has the potential to completely transform industries.
Not just finance.
It can solve complex problems, boost efficiency, create a more sustainable future.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. But we have to remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Spider-Man, right?
Exactly. We need to make sure we're using this technology ethically for the benefit of everyone.
Couldn't agree more. Well, that was quite a journey. We've covered a lot of ground today. From the challenges of scaling AI to the potential of GenAI ops to revolutionize the financial industry and beyond.
And who knows what the future holds.
That's the exciting part. There's so much potential for innovation and growth.
And hopefully we can use this technology to create a better world for everyone.
Well said. To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned something new today. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
We're all in this together, shaping the future of AI.
Until next time, stay curious.